Why is it so that you always run away? Why is it so?
Hey guys, welcome to Frank's Tech Help. So over the past 4 or 5 weeks, I've reviewed actually 5 different vehicles. We only have 4 in front of us here. These are all the 1/12 scale model grade RC cars that I've reviewed over the past month. So starting off, I'm just going to do a general comparison across the board and pick my winner personally and cover some of the various features. And hopefully it'll help you in trying to make a decision. There's a lot of RC cars out there right now to purchase, varying speeds, power, stuff like that, and you never really know what you're getting until you get it. So hopefully this video will help you out in making a decision. So first off, I purchased, let me zoom in here, purchased the Hbx Doom Thunder 12891. And it's got the kind of plastic shell on the top, has the 4 clips, and a fairly basic internal design. Pop the top off here for you. You see inside there. So it's got the 390 motor, and it does run on the 2 18650 batteries, but I did the brick 7.4 conversion on this model, and there's a video on my YouTube channel. It runs a lot longer with the new battery setup, and it runs a little bit faster. This one is, it'll do about 25 miles per hour straight up and down the road. I'll post up some videos here so you can kind of see so the gravel test for each of these as I go through it. For the gravel test, this one handles really well in the gravel. You can get up to speed, it drives straight, it doesn't spin around and do a bunch of donuts straight off the bat because of the 4-wheel drive on this model. I give really high remarks for this one, for the overall design or fun factor. Now I have broken off 3 of the tires. You know, the dogs ripped one off basically, or weakened the thread enough. So the original screws in this model aren't that great. The tires will break off. If you watch some of my other videos, I do have a solution video for that problem. So let's go back out here. So the next one that I reviewed was the WLToys 12428. And hold it up here. This one uses a 7.4 volt battery, 1400 mAh, 1400 or 1500 mAh battery that fits in the back right there. It is a 4-wheel drive vehicle as far as that goes. It has the 540 motor in it, and it does not have the independent rear differential. It is on the shock system, as you see from the drive axle back here. Also the drive axle, the main shaft of this is made of plastic, and it has a sliding bar. Not sure if you can see that from this angle. So I'm not sure as far as the overall quality of this one. It's really heavy duty. It's very well constructed on the outside. My initial review of this one wasn't awesome, but it's really kind of geared if you do like rock climbing and stuff. As I've made it clear in my other videos, I like to run it and slide it and do 180s and get in the gravel and jump and stuff like that. So this is actually a pretty cool vehicle in general. I'd say overall speed probably 20 to 22 miles per hour. I think maybe once it breaks in it'll go a little bit faster, but right now I think the max was like 18 to 20 for me. But it did get upwards of over 20 miles per hour at times as far as the straight street run goes. So this is a great vehicle. You can check my other videos if you want to see the full review of this one covered. And that was the second vehicle that I purchased for review. So next I reviewed the 9115 full proportion truck. It has some super big knobby tires. This is a 2-wheel drive vehicle, rear wheel drive. In the gravel it spins a lot. This one's about a mid-weight. It does have the plastic shell cover on the top like the Hbx 12891. Has a solid body construction here. Speed factor, I'd say about 20 to 22 miles per hour down the road. It is rear wheel drive, so once again, so like I said, it spins out a lot. It has huge tires on it compared to any of the other vehicles. They're nice and wide as far as that goes. and they got a decent profile on the side, and the wheelbase is fairly wide. So this vehicle did pretty well. In the gravel it spun a lot. In the grass it got stuck quite a bit just because of the rear two-wheel drive. And so in the grass it didn't perform so well. Straight up street testing, spinning, stuff like that, it was pretty fun as far as that goes. The Tozo C2035. And I have to say the inner construction, I'll take the caps off of these in just a second, is relatively the same as the 9115. It does have the rear wheel drive, so it's not four-wheel drive on this. Now the tires are considerably different actually than any of the other vehicles. So the 9115 construction, the interior of it might be somewhat the same design, but the exterior, the tires and everything are by far different. So these are like more fluffy, kind of puffy, bouncy tires. These are very wide tires and they hug the ground really well. Despite the low profile, it looks really cool when you drive it, and when it comes into the curves, the whole shock system of the car, you can see it shifting. I'll put some video up there of that one. So on the overall, I think I really like this one a lot. The top speed was about around 22 miles per hour. Being the rear wheel drive, once again, it does spin out terribly in the gravel continuously. You really have to learn your steering and be very, kind of finesse your steering as you're driving it if you want to keep it straight in the gravel and stuff. Now in the grass, this one did exceptionally well. I was really surprised, I think because of the wide track of the tires, and despite the low profile, this thing just tore through the grass with relative ease, even though it's just a straight rear wheel drive vehicle. So that's that. Let me go ahead and pop the shell. Alright, so under the 9115, the top actually comes off as far as the cotter pins, and on the C235 the two cotter pins in the front come off, and then the back just lifts up, and that's what you have. It's attached in the back, so you can't actually remove it. You see the inner designs on both of these vehicles, get them at various angles there. They are relatively the same body on the inside of the vehicle. The shock system is fairly almost identical. The brackets, the A-frame brackets in the front here are slightly different to hold the plastic housing versus the construction of this one. So they're running the same type of motor, the same battery configuration on the inside. The power switch is in the same spot between the two, and I thought basically I was going to be ordering a duplicate of this vehicle with a different shell, but that's not quite the case. For overall construction and durability, I'd say the WLToys 12428 or the Tozo C2035. These two seem very rugged, and the overall housing on the top is very well constructed. So for the roll factor, I think these are going to take a lot more punishment versus the plastic shell. Now these are pretty durable. You start getting scratches and you'll scrape holes through it from sliding on the concrete and stuff like that. But it's really irrelevant because you could run it like this if you wanted. Alright, so out of the 4 vehicles tested, thoroughly put all these through the test for the gravel. The WLToys 12428 does really well because it has the 4-wheel drive. The Hbx Doom Thunder 12891 does really well because it's 4-wheel drive as well. The other 2 models are rear-wheel drive, so they're better suited for pavement racing. This one the 9115 didn't do well in grass. The Tozo C2035 did great in the grass and great on straightaways. It spun a lot in the gravel, as did the 9115. Both of these units, because of the rear-wheel drive, you get them into gravel or rock, they're going to want to spin around. So for some kids, that's that's what they want. They want to do donuts all day, and these are great for that. But as far as the drop test goes, you do hear the back end hit the ground right there. WLToys 12428. It's hitting, the frame is almost hitting the back of the assembly right here, the base of the battery housing. So eventually if it hits it enough, it could break some of the rear end components there. But it does have pretty good resilience as far as the bounce factor goes. And on the 9115, the bounce factor, this thing bounces really well in general. Nothing hits the ground. It's got big knobby tires on there. Shocks seem fairly firm as far as that goes. And even pushing it like that, it doesn't really hit the ground. So as far as jumping and stuff goes, this is probably a good candidate right here. The shock system actually seems really good. It's probably because of the bigger tires on this one. So the Tozo C2035, the bounce test, you can hear the back end hit the ground, and it is hitting the rear differential or below the rear differential. It does have a skid plate here built in, but the differential is fairly close under there. So as far as jumping goes, you might be expecting some damage in the future to the back end of this vehicle. So weight-wise, the Dune Thunder 12891 by far, even though it seems a little bit bigger, just slightly than the other vehicles, is by far the lightest, the fastest. Despite the tires breaking off, and now that I've done my repairs and actually put heavier duty screws in here, I'd say by far now is probably one of the most durable for the speed factor, jumping, and the fun factor. I punished this thing severely, and it's still going great. The second place, and it's a tough choice between the WLToys and the Tozo 2035. This one is more of a rock crawler, and it's rated for up to, I think, 24 miles per hour roughly. I don't think I was able to get it up to that. I got it maybe 18 to 20 miles per hour, but maybe once it gets broken in, it'll be better. Otherwise, the Tozo C2035 would have to be my next favorite vehicle. So this would be number 2 for me, just because the nice rugged design on the overall, wide track on the tires. This thing drives, it slides. It does really well. Now, all of these, the two-wheel drives don't do well in the gravel, as I mentioned before. But as far as grass, this one performed well. And the street fun factor, just being straight on the pavement and sliding and stuff, this is another good vehicle. So as far as the fun factor goes, sliding, jumping, stuff like that, these two, the 12891 and the C2035 are probably going to be my top 2 picks. Alright guys, so there you have it. It's my review of the Hbx 12891, the WLToys 12428, the 9115 full proportion, and the Tozo C2035 RC vehicles. I hope this video was informative and helped you out and try to make a decision on what you want to purchase, and seeing the video clips of how they all perform, in various situations. For me personally, I like the 4-wheel drive. I'm going to stick with the 4-wheel drive, and that's going to be the Hbx 12891. This is my overall pick, even though I've had problems out of it, the wheels breaking off and having to replace the rear inside axle support, whatever. This is still by far the fastest, most fun vehicle out of all the 4. So anyway, I hope this video helps you guys out, and as always, thanks for watching Frank's Tech Help. Peace.
Why is it sad?